Welcome to Halloween Town by Anita Goodesign. Spiders, trees, haunted houses, stars, graveyards, and of course lots of pumpkins. Join me for this spooktacular so long.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I am from OML Embroidery, and today we're going to be working on Halloween Town by Anita Goodesign. Now you see me super cutting there. We're doing the first part, which is putting the batting down and cutting it out. Once that's done, put it back on your machine and we're going to do the cool designs that separate the sky and the ground. Now, of course, I am thinking outside the box. While I absolutely love the Anita Goodesign colors, I decided to do something just a little bit differently. So I thought an eerie blue sky, kind of a bright, kind of turquoise color. Anyway, so once that's stitched down, then you trim out the bottom, and I'm using my duckbill scissors, and it works out quite nicely and it looks great. But that's all you have to trim. For once, I actually left enough of the edges on it. I don't usually, for no apparent reason. But anyways, we're doing the stippling, and I think the stippling looks best with a matching color on this one. And I like the one that I used for it. It's a nice turquoise. I do incorporate it in other places in the designs. So, okay, third step here is we're doing the outline for the bottom piece. Now, if you look really close up at my fabric, it's kind of got snowflakes and different things on it. You can't really tell, though, when we have it all stitched out. It's just kind of like a groovy gray color. So again, once that's done stitching, you need to trim it, and you only trim at the top of it. And then we're going to do the stippling on it. And again, I have matched the colors, thread colors. So I'm using like a silver for this one, which is great. And the silver is going to be used in a couple of other places as well, but I think it looks fantastic. So the next step, once the stippling is done, is it's going to stitch out a little pathway. It's just a Tommy stitch. And then an outline. Now this outline is for applique, and I'm just using a scrap of fabric for the applique. And it's going to stitch it down, and I love my orange polka dots. And then carefully with your duck-billed scissors, we're going to trim out the applique. And this makes it look really cute. I love the addition of applique fabric on this part. So now we're going to get to some detail work. So I am going with my theme of bright colors, and I chose a very, very bright yellow to make the lights in the windows pop. And of course, the pumpkins, they got to look like they're lit up nice and bright. So bright, bright colors for this one. And I really love the yellow. I think the yellow is awesome. And of course, I picked green. You can't really see it. I may like it a little bit better with a darker green, but that's okay. And we're going to do orange around the outside. And again, I've picked a very bright orange for this, and I think it looks great. So more detail work. The orange goes little bits on the haunted house in the background, which makes it look really good. Now we're stitching out the actual haunted house. So the colors I chose for this one is a darker gray. So not silver, but darker gray. And instead of outlining the light colored bottom, I decided to do it in a darker gray color just because I thought it added more to it. And I really kind of like it. The more grays you have in, the more depth it'll give you. So now we're going to be stitching out the tombstones, and I'm using the same darker color, and I think it looks great. And now for my favorite part, we're stitching out the tree. This is going to take about 20 minutes to stitch out, so I've skipped a little ahead so we can see it, but the tree has detail And I love it. I absolutely love it. It is the quintessential creepy Halloween tree with spiders, big, huge spiders hanging off of it. Now, the detail work from Anita Goodesign is fantastic in this tree. I love it. I love it. It looks really good. And I'm doing it in black because it's kind of a shadowy design, and I think the black, dark gray, lighter gray, and then a silver, along with the very, very bright colors, I think that looks amazing. But of course, you can try different ones. You can try different colors, different color combinations. Again, I love the Anita Good Design, the colors that they've chosen, the green and the purple and the orange. But I didn't have all that, so think outside the box. So I really love the bright blue background. I think it looks really good, and it's completely different. So for this sew along, we are going to be stitching out blocks and the sashes. I did two of them, and then the pumpkin cornerstones. And I think we're going to do two or three blocks because some of the applique and the other blocks it gets a bit busy, and we're going to put everything together. So by the time we're done this, I will have three blocks and all of the sashes ready to go, and then we're going to piece it together, and I'll show you guys my sewing technique again, and we'll have a nice, table runner or wall hanging. So more black details, the fence, the falling down fence, I just love it. And a little bit of detail in the back, and then it's going to go to the haunted house, and which I thought looked pretty good at this point. I thought it looked great, but wait till the black detail goes on it because it looks even better. I love it. It's also going to do the token spider web, and I think there's a couple bats here and there as well. I think that's a recurring theme through all the blocks, but yeah, Halloween Town, this is fun. So, ideas for this: if you only have a little bit of orange and gray for the bottom, or whatever colors that you choose, you can make mug rugs out of it. You can put different batting in it and make a pot holder. And there's a lot of things you can do. One thing I would really like to do is put them together and make a tote bag. So you can follow Anita Good Design instructions anywhere that they made a tote bag and just substitute the blocks for it. So you could make your own Halloween tote bag, and I think that's awesome as well. Quite a few ideas. I'd like to take the tree and do something with the tree. Oh, here's the detail on the haunted house, and this just finishes it off perfectly. I love it. I also love the black detail around the pumpkin guys. I think that looks great too. And it gives it kind of like an eerie feeling. So there's a lot of things we can do with this design set. There are so many designs that are in it that you can use in different ways. One of my favorites, of course, everyone knows I love Halloween and Christmas, and this is one of my favorites. By the way, we're stitching out the spider, and there we go. And I think there's a couple birds. No, that's a bat going on. Sorry, bat. The raven's already in the tree because, of course, you have to have a black raven for Halloween, right? So I think there's a spider web going down. The last part of the stitching is, oh, sorry, the spider web is in silver, as it should be. You could have done it in white as well to make it stand out a little bit more as kind of like the focal point of the block. So you can make changes everywhere and think outside the embroidery box and come up with really groovy color combinations. I'm really liking how this is turning out so far. The silver stars, I love that in the background. I think that adds to it as well. It looks really good on the orange that Anita Good Design did, but I kind of like the silver. It really goes with the bottom fabric that I've chosen. So we've got a spider web, and then a line going to the spider is all we have to do after this. And what a beautiful quilt block this is. So I have a little bit of batting. I have the two fabrics that will match when you put them together. And I will be doing the sashings. We're going to do the tree and we're going to do the bats. And we're going to bring some of these colors into the sashing, and it looks great. So I hope you guys are sewing along with me. This is the first block. We're going to do two more, and we're going to come up with really cool things to do with this as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you guys will sew along with me and create your own blocks from Anita Goodesign. I think it's going to look fantastic. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!